This is why I'm achieving my deepest, darkest, most fulfilling dreams, and you probably never will. Right off the bat, let's get the obvious out of the way. I live in a very wealthy, liberal community in the Deep South. There's a creativity here that stems from the suffering, the tradition, the conservative values. And it's coupled with progressive thought, academia, and very open, fluid beliefs. So I really have the best of both worlds. It's not as high as it used to be, but there was a time in the early mid-90s where the place I live had a lot of millionaires compared to how small the population is. So it's that proximity to people who know how to make money, and that proximity to academia, liberalism, being open to new things, being able to pivot. So it really is the best of both worlds. But this is the issue. That may help my mindset because I can see millionaires and I can see people who one day believed this and now 2 weeks later they believe the polar opposite. Even though that's great to be in proximity of people who can make money and people who can totally change their beliefs and ideas to get the job done, I would argue that the comfort and the safety that comes with all those advantages and privilege is what is holding you back. Now, I get it. You probably have 5 roommates. You probably work really, really hard. Things may not be great for you. You're spending Labor Day weekend watching YouTube videos, thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow. Now, this is why I'm manifesting all the deep dreams I've had since I was pre-adolescent. And then when I became a man and entered the adult world, all those dreams suddenly just, I had blocks. I could not manifest them. Perhaps I didn't want to manifest them. Perhaps I was afraid to go after it. What's the difference between me and you? I have a huge, irreversible, unfixable, unhealable, permanent hole in my heart. And I know this because I've spent my entire adult life doing what other people wanted me to do out of a sense of love and duty, obligation, wanting to do the right thing. But the dark secret to all that is even someone who does that, who submits to the will of the ones they love, I'm doing that because I want something. So for example, you may be in a great relationship. You may have power in that relationship, and your SO, they may do everything right, and they may put you first, and your experience is you're the one in charge and they're doing everything for you and you have all the power. But don't fool yourself for a minute. The reason they're giving you all the power and they do everything to keep you is because they benefit. There's something that they get from you in that relationship. So it really isn't about, oh, you're the better one and they're reaching for you. No, they know, like, man, I get stuff out of this person, whether it's sexual validation or social status. They're getting something out of you. If you've never tasted betrayal, public humiliation, unnecessarily cruel rejection, if you haven't had that trauma where the story structure in your mind, the beliefs that create meaning in your life, if you've never had those things demolished and had your whole psyche crushed, you're probably not going to be able to do what I'm doing. Because we don't see reality. Nature is brutal. The hurricane doesn't care who you're voting for this November. The infectious disease doesn't care, what you majored in college. And we can call that, fate. It's just blind fate, just whatever's going to happen to you is whatever's going to happen to you. But we create stories and belief systems so we can explain to ourselves why our life is the way it is. And it's easy to worry about our childhood trauma and how that affected us, and are we prisoners to that imprinting. It doesn't even have to be trauma. It could be positive things too. Are we just married to a certain lifestyle and a way of life? And I mean, think about people who are just in credit card debt that they don't know how to control, or all these other issues where they just keep doing stuff because that's the life they're used to, but they really can't afford it because they just don't know how. The blessing, the gift that you find within the wound is what reveals to you your purpose and your destiny. And if you don't know what it is that you were put on planet Earth to do, how are you ever going to manifest your dreams? I'll tell you right now for free, I'm just going to give this to you. Most important thing you'll ever hear in your life when it comes to the purpose of making money and how you make money. The purpose of making money and how to make a lot of it is being the very best at what you do and finding the people with the most money to pay you for the thing that you do so well. And that's it. That's sales. That's marketing. That is life. When you're young and you hear people say like, "Oh yeah, that's great. You're a creative person, but I hate it, but you gotta make money." That's terrible, because if an adult ever told you that, what they're basically saying is, "I don't like this, but it's true. I love it. I think it's awesome." But the mindset was all wrong. In my mind, I'm thinking, "Oh, there has to be another way." And you know what that other way was? Putting stuff off. Okay, I'll put art on the side, and I'll go to my plan B, which is getting a 4-year liberal arts degree. And then maybe once I've done that, I'll have some clarity, some time will pass, and then I can start doing the thing that I know I'm already good at. Don't put off your dreams, man, because that's just more time where you're getting used to a life of good enough. And I think that's what your problem is. I think you have a job that is just good enough that you will never quit. I think that you're in a relationship with somebody that's just good enough, man. She gives you just enough so that you keep her around. And it's probably even sadder than that. You don't believe in yourself. So you're going to keep some average person around who may not even be giving you what you need. But you're scared, you know? You don't want to be alone long enough to find someone better. Ooh, you don't want to be long enough. You don't even want to be alone long enough to find yourself. And then you have the other people who are alone. They've gotten very used to it. They feel very safe being alone. It's nice. It's sad sometimes, and it's lonely, and you compare yourself to the exterior of what other people's lives look like. But it just doesn't get bad enough for you to make a change. And sadly, for some of you men out there, I'm not going to speak for the women, but I'm sure it's applicable, but I'm not going to speak for them. For some of you men out there, things haven't gotten bad enough for you to stop watching YouTube, eating junk food, hitting that robo-grass when you at work, staying good and dull. That's another just rando thing I'm going to throw in here. Cannabis is legal now to varying degrees, but it's got a legality to it. That should have been the very moment that you quit smoking. Because you got to ask yourself, why is alcohol legal? Alcohol is the worst drug there is. And it's everywhere. It's all in the culture. It's everywhere, man. It's in church. And I know if you're Protestant, you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's everywhere. Why is alcohol everywhere? Because it makes us dumb and complacent. Why is cannabis just now finally legal? Well, if you know the history of cannabis, it's largely about racism, you know. Racism as it existed back then, it's changed. It's not, yeah, so come on, man. Cannabis is legal to keep you dumb and not getting anything done, man. Because cannabis makes everything, it's good enough. I'm complacent. It makes your thoughts and your daydreams as vibrant as an IMAX movie. And you're not getting anything done because it feels so damn good to come home from a job that's not paying you enough, that doesn't give you satisfaction. And yeah, I'm gonna watch Netflix with my girlfriend, smoke a little grass. Maybe do some things with her that make me feel good. I mean, bro, comfortably numb, man. Just comfortably numb. You want to know what my life looks like? My life right now in this brief chapter looks like New Year's Eve and Christmas morning, man. None of my friends are thinking like I'm thinking. One, they're younger than me, so they're just now coming out of college and realizing, ooh, I got served a dish of lies, but they're in denial, you know. I've made it this far. I got to keep doing what I'm doing. I can't change now. I've already invested all this time and money into this industry, so I'm going to keep doing it even though I'm not making any money. Or they're older than me and they have seen success and they're doing the thing, but they're not going to be all or nothing. I made a video 2 years ago on my channel where I said I'm giving up everything for the one thing. No, I wasn't. I realized that was the only way to move up to the next level, even if it was for a city. Say no to everything and embrace the one thing. No. Why? Because I still had the voices in my head being like, no, you just got your MFA, you got to teach. You know what I had to do? I had to ghost people like that. And ghosting is bad, man. You shouldn't do it. I'm telling you what to do. You should just be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and then that's it, and they can respect your boundaries or not. But I was figuring this all out. I didn't really know what to do, and in that desperation, I was just like, ghost, just gotta ghost. can't be around this mindset, man. I can't be taking advice from someone 10, 15 years older than me and looking at what their life looks like and being like, bro, no. Like, why would I take advice from you? And the really cool thing is, it's totally selfish to say no to everything and embrace the one thing, you know. At the expense of everything else, you're sacrificing everything else to go all in on your business, which is totally doable. It's totally doable. We are in the era of the one-person business, and you can jump in right now at the beginning of this and be an OG in your market and really make some money and really get educated and be able to pass down that education to your offspring and to your friends' offspring. But you know what's amazing? Because, yeah, right? This is selfish. This is a selfish thing to do. I'll tell you a story. There's this young woman. Her name is Patrice. I think she's 19 years old. Maybe she's older. But let's just say she's super, super young. And she sees this. She sees that we are in the dawn of the information age, baby, moving out of the Industrial Revolution and moving into a time where anyone can make money on the internet. And I'm not talking about drop shipping, man. I'm not talking about that time when I sold off all my old books and these esoteric texts and I made like, you know, $1,000 from just selling some stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what information do you have that you can teach to others to change their life, and finding the people with the most money to pay you for that. And maybe it's not education, maybe it's just a service, maybe you know how to do something so you can be the best at it, and the people with the most money can pay you to do what you're best at. Anyway, Patrice is this young woman, and she dropped out of college to go all in on one-person business. And when I say one-person business, dude, she doesn't have a team. She has a YouTube channel and she has a Skool Community. Skool, Skool. It's a brand new platform. Well, it's brand new to you. It's been around a couple years now. I would say by this time next year, everybody's going to know about it. Just like when Facebook went from being a platform for college students, and now it's a platform for baby boomers. That's what Skool is. You just don't know about it yet. Patrice puts in 18-hour days. Patrice cut people out of her life that weren't thinking about the things she's thinking about and doing the things that she's doing. And do you know what's happened? Just seeing her success, just seeing her on the leaderboard and how much money she's making, and watching her videos and her talking about, like, this is what I had to do. I have to sacrifice sleep and I have to sacrifice relationships. At the end of the day, that's not selfish and destructive. At the end of the day, there's a 19-year-old girl whose life is totally changed by seeing Patrice do that. So what other people are telling you is selfish, it's you kicking ass and giving others permission to do the same. You've got to make money because money gives you options. And you're never going to make money without clarity. And you're not going to get clarity until you start taking action. So baby, 100%. That is why my life is 180 degrees different than it was at the beginning of the summer. At the time of this recording, this is the day before Labor Day 2024. We just had a huge astrological shift in the stars. If you care about that kind of thing, just look it up. Just look up what's happening today in the celestial bodies. I believe Monday's a new moon. So whether you care about outer space and stuff like that, and the way things affect other things, whether you care about that or not, just look at it symbolically. This is a great day to change your life. This is a great day to start doing stuff different. And man, it's painful, but you need that pain. And you need that pain to never be filled. When I came to the the conclusion that is like, bro, you have a hole in your heart, and that's why you keep letting toxic people in. And I like it, I like it. I don't know what it is about that toxic love, but that fact, like, for a moment, this physically attractive woman who is toxic and cruel and evil, for a moment, she's giving me love. And I'm going to wager it's the same for women. It's like, man, you know that, girl, you know that man's a cheater, but he tricks you for a minute, and you're like, but not with me. He's a different man with me. So it's the same thing. So if you resonate with any of that, be like, that's your superpower. So quit filling the hole. Quit filling your hole. and just let it stay open and gaping. Just let it keep bleeding. Because one day you'll be dead. And that hole will... and then it'll all be whole, You're going to be dead one day. And I promise you, as someone who's had some near-death experiences, I didn't think about any of those women when I thought I was dying. You think about the people who are close to you, but you specifically think about the people who depend on you. That's really what you think about. When you think about dying, when you are dying and you don't see the way out, if you have children, you're going to be thinking about your children and if they're going to be okay. If you have parents, especially if they're older, you're going to be thinking like, what are my parents going to do? And even if they're not older, you're going to think about your parents, because you're going to know, like, hey, I'm dying, like I'm getting eaten by a shark in the ocean right now. Like, I mean, that's what you think about. You think about your parents and your kids. And if you don't have those two things, maybe you'll have the privilege of not thinking about anything other than, I should have worked harder at achieving my dreams. Because that's the cliche we always hear, right? That people are on their deathbeds and they're like, I worked too hard, I never got to see my kid. You work too hard on the wrong things. But I promise you, the last time I thought I was dying was October 2017. And I thought to myself, you didn't work hard enough, bro. And anyone who tells you, no, you don't want to be, they're lying to you. Just like they're lying to you about alcohol, they're lying to you about sex, they're lying to you about cannabis. Work harder. And if you don't have a hole in your heart, you're screwed. You're not going to achieve anything. You're going to stay comfortable, and your life is just going to be one long BJ, and then at the very end, you're going to be like, what? And life is over. But if you're watching this, and you have a hole in your heart, and you know deep down there's no cure, it's irreversible, man. And that's what trauma is, right? That's just that moment of like, my life is different. This wasn't supposed to be my story. This isn't my story. This wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah. Those people, you're going to make so much money. You're going to be so proud of yourself. Because you're not chasing happiness. Happiness is just this outcome of being the man, of being the king, of doing the thing. And knowing at the end of the day, even if I fail, I can pass on what I know to my children, to the next generation. Education, man, real knowledge. So the reason why I'm making my dreams come true right now and you're not is because I get up every day and I fail. And I fail and I fail and I do it again and I fail and I fail and I feel bad and I'm like, damn it, I screwed that up. I knew what to do. Why didn't I do it? And it's just like, let's do it again. I wish you most success. I wish you love. I wish you God's divine protection. But I also pray you get your fucking heart broken, because it would change your life.